You've seen the comments of Rahul Gandhi in the US where he's praised China and run down India's manufacturing. Some of the facts were actually not were false as well.
Yes, they
not
could
just
be corroborated.
not just exaggerations. Given the trend in the Chinese economy, what do you feel the impact of that, if any, is on the way India is perceived globally?
Indian voters are going to be disillusioned by Congress party's role as an opposition party. They earlier saw them completely being negatived. They earlier saw them being destructive in the parliament. They gave them a little more votes, more number of seats, just to see them work constructively in the House, have meaningful debates. Certainly, whether in power or outside, Indian people don't want any leader from India to go outside of the country and talk in disparaging note about India itself and to decry your own country. I'm not playing up on this, but
Yes.
I would want to say this. I was astonished to see a Pakistan news channel,
Yes.
which is now all over the social media, where two of them who are people who are in the know of the South Asian politics and Indians politics
Yes.
and so on. They're astonished and they said, what kind of leader would he be that he goes outside and criticizes his own country, whereas he should be doing that in the parliament. So countries are astonished at this conduct of this kind of a disruptive and somebody who can criticize his own country outside. That's not responsible opposition. That's not the kind of leader Indian public want.
Ma'am, also this time in budget when he was making his speech, I saw a moment when you were holding your head in your hands when the reference was made to how many of your secretaries and senior bureaucrats were from which caste.
Yes.
If I may ask you, what impact did that have on the finance ministry, or how would you view that kind of a comment when you reduce
very
everything
demeaning.
to caste?
Yes, and it was very demeaning because whether you like it or not, every institution has its own certain customary practices. This halwa ceremony is one such, because they get locked up in the cellar for 9 days, 8 nights. And that is the time when they cannot have their phone, their mobiles, or any contact with their families. People go in there
Yes.
and print the budget and send it out. Nowadays, printing numbers have come down because most are digital. And this ceremony, like the way in most of our houses, we have something given, meeta, before we start some auspicious thing. That's a ceremony. And when he tried to mock that and reduce that to how many of which caste was there, I said, what? And in my dismay, I kept my hand,
We saw that.
because I didn't know how to reply to that.
Yes.
So I have a feeling, consciously using caste as a card, every institution of India is being derided by the leader of the opposition. And for all that, as though he is above caste. If he was above caste, why would his team call him a Janeyudhari Brahman of a particular gotra?
Yes.
And you then go about talking about these sort of things. So you want to claim the benefit of your caste for some time, and suddenly when you want to disturb the calm anywhere, you want to say, no, I'm sorry, how many? Didn't he also ask how many women are there how many caste-based people are there?
In the Miss India.
Miss India.
Yes, he did that.
I mean, can there be anything much more ludicrous than that? He's making a mockery of this whole thing.